Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe is currently on the podium. Let's take you there now.
It is happening. You can invest in South Africa and you will be allowed to produce. In order to ensure regulatory certainty in South African mining, the DMRE has procured service provider for design, implementation, and maintenance of mining license system. We call it the cadastral system. It took us longer, it was enjoy pressure, but it is going to happen. And to put it and ensure that we get the correct service provider, where to go to Botswana, where to go to Namibia, check their system so that we don't do something that is out of range. And therefore, it will be allowed, it will start now. We've got the cadastral system. And we've been criticized of this because a cadastral system ensures transparent mining licensing system. So you don't have to have backlogs with more artificial processing of application. The machine will process it for you. You can read for yourself. You can see if it is occupied. You don't apply on a piece of land that is already allocated to somebody else. As per normal enterprise solution, the implementation of the new licensing system will take place over a period of time because we don't want to rush it and collapse it. We want to follow it systematically. Therefore, we are giving ourselves a time of up to 12 months to ensure that it works perfectly in all the 9 provinces. In dealing with the licensing backlog, significant progress has been made since last met here. Of the 2,000 applications received since beginning of the financial year, the DMRE has granted 268 processing rights, it has granted 32 mining rights, it has granted 85 renewals, 184 amendments, and 190 permits. And we thought we should give you these statistics because some mischievous tenants wrote that we have not processed nothing, is 0. And this is not 0. It's 268 plus 32 plus 85 plus 184 plus 190. That is not 0. And we are committed to wipe out the backlog. It would be remiss of us not to acknowledge the challenges confronted by the industry as a result of these historic backlogs. We are, however, buoyed by the unwavering support and patience from the mining industry. Let me take this opportunity to assure you that we will get our business back in order and will see an end to the backlog. It is a known fact that new mines are born out of exploration. If you have a sense of the value chain in mining, you'll know that it all starts with exploration. Then you can do mining. Then you can do metallurgical processing. You separate rocks to minerals, minerals from rocks, and then only then can you beneficiate. So, as the previous Mining Indaba, we shared with you our partnership with Industrial Development Corporation to establish a country's exploration fund. I'm happy to announce that we have passed all the regulatory hurdles and approvals for the establishment of the fund, which paved the way for us to officially launch the fund. And from tomorrow, you can talk to us. That fund is available. It's not for big companies. It's for emerging and developing small companies that want to do exploration. There is money available. And we said to the CGS, we don't want to say money and interest. We want to see the number of beneficiaries who use the fund and do exploration. Because if we do exploration, we are ensuring that there is future for mining in the country. The establishment of this fund catalyzes some of the discoveries we've made, such as discovery of rare earth minerals. We've discovered that we have lithium, we have coltan, we have phosphate in the rock formation known as pegmatite in the Northern Cape. That province called the Northern Cape, big land, few people, many sheep, but very much virgin in terms of being exploited. We must exploit minerals. There is a rich province It has a future, it is bright, it looks better. Please come to the Northern Cape. And we also have some new discoveries in KZN, in Mpumalanga and Limpopo. And these discoveries have brought to the fore the urgency and the need for South Africa to finalize and put in place its own critical mineral strategy, which we intend to launch this year. Why is that important? It's because up to now, only developed economies have a definition of what critical minerals are. They are not the same. US has its own definition, UK has its own, Canada has its own, Australia has its own. Africa, who are producers of these critical minerals, we have no definition. We are competing, we are rushing and compete in a race to the bottom, instead of actually consolidating our strategy and ensure that Africa benefits from these critical minerals. And we are determined to persuade our colleagues in the continent to work with us and ensure that we have a strategy, we benefit, we change the old fashion of pit to pot. If we succeed in that, we're going to be very better as a continent. Cognizant of the energy-intensive nature of mining industry and pursuant to electricity supply constraints, we continue to implement intervention to resolve constraint and support for the mining industry. These include gains we have made since the removal of licensing threshold and embedded generation. Embedded generation in South Africa is totally deregulated. Investors take note. You actually get into embedded generation, you don't need a license. It is totally deregulated. You only register it for a permit. To this end, the NERSA has registered a number of licenses, over 1,000 licenses in embedded generation. And to this end, we have reviewed the 2019 IRP and gazetted to update version of public comments in order to allow maximum participation in this process. We have decided that we'll extend the public comment period from 23 February to 23 March. We're giving an additional month for comments because we don't want to be accused of rushing it through. We're avoiding comments. Please forward your comments. It is not going to help if you stand up in the public and just criticize and insult the IRP and not bring your comments and contribute to strengthening it. The invitation is open. Do send your comments to it. With that said, we hope that we will engage from this year's Mining Indaba with renewed vigor and commitment to invest in Africa's new mining order that is geared towards making African mining industry a significant global competitor. We can't avoid that. African countries must work together to ensure that we get that. Let us continue working together to build an African mining industry that prioritizes health and safety of its workers. It can't be that in every country in the continent we see disasters of workers dying in the mines. Mines must be safe. People must go to work in the mines and come back safe. That is a commitment of zero harm in the mining industry. So the industry must promote beneficiation of its resources at source country. Let's not move it away. Let's beneficiate close to the source. And the industry that promotes industrialization and support our just energy transition from high to low carbon emission. We're very particular about this terminology. Movement from high carbon to low carbon emission is not moving from coal to renewables. That is not the transition. The transition is movement from high carbon emission to low carbon emission with a multiple pathways to that transition. It's not a single transition from coal to renewables. It's a combination of technologies that will ensure that we work together. Let us work together to build the Africa we want that is free of poverty, unemployment, and inequality, consistent with the Africa 2063 objective. Thank you very much.